Okay, and welcome back, students that are taking Math for Business and Finance and Math Applications. We're doing the Chapter 3 Summary Practice Test, and in the last video we stopped on problem number 8, so let's pick up with number 9. Right? Convert the following fractions to decimals or mixed decimals and round to the nearest hundredth as needed. Okay. So I have 1 over 8. All right, and remember we're rounding to the nearest hundredth. All right, so 1 divided by 8, and I have to show 3 places because we're rounding to the hundredths, so I need to know what the thousandths position is going to be in order to know to round up or down. So 8 and the 10 goes once, that's 8, remainder of 2, bring down the 0, that's 2 times, that's 16, that's 40, and 8 and the 40 goes 5 times. I don't need to do anything else. And since my hundredths position is 2, I look to the right and see that it's 5 or greater. That means I'm going to round up, so my answer is 0.13. Okay. All right. Again, all right, get my pen right here. All right, there we go. So 4 and 4/7. Okay, so we know that the 4 is going to be the whole number. So I'm looking at 4 and the decimal. That's the whole number equivalent right there. But now I have to figure out the fractional equivalent. So I'm going to take the 4 from the numerator and divide it by 7 in the denominator. And again, 3 decimal places. Right? So 7 in the 40 goes 5 times. That's 35. Remainder of 5. 7 in the 50 goes 7 times, that's 49. 1, 10, and now I know 7 and the 10 goes once. I don't have to do the rest of the math because that's my thousandths position. And since it's lower than 5, I'm going to round down, so I know that my fractional portion is only going to be 57. So my answer is 4.57. Okay. 11. Same thing. 1 over 13. So I take my 1 and I divide it by 13. I need 3 positions. Right, so 13 into 10 goes 0 times. 13 into 100 goes 8 times. That's 24. That's 2. Oh, that's a little bit too much. Okay. So I know it's not 8. It has to be 7. So that's 7. 7 times 3 is 21. Carry my 2. That's 91. Remainder of 9 goes into 90. 13 into 90, as long as it's 5 or better, and I know that 5 times 10 is 50, so I know that this has to be at least 5 or better, so that means I would round up, and so my answer ends up being 0.08. Okay, I didn't have to do the rest of the math because I just used a little, logical thinking here and said, okay, 13 into 90, can it go 5 times? Yes, it can. 65. 5 times 13 is 65. I don't need to do anything else, all right? Because I know it's greater than 5. That number, this position right here is going to be greater than 5, which means I round up, okay? 12. Rearrange the following decimals and add. So I'm making sure I'm putting everything aligned properly. So 5.93. Keep my decimals aligned correctly. 11.862. Again, positioning is important. 284.0382. And then 88.44. Then add them up. 2, that's 10, that's 10, 17, 17, 18, 22. Carry my 2, that's 7, 8, 16, 20. That's 219, 390.2702. Maybe I should check the answer. Yep, that's what it has in the book. Okay. All right, so that's correct. But again, arranging, meaning keeping your decimals aligned properly and keeping the positions properly aligned. As you can see, I'm moving through this through that problem a lot quicker because I'm able to do the mental math, and having everything aligned helps me to visually cue the information, the thinking process in my head. I don't have to work slowly. Sure, I might start, work slowly at first, but as I do more and more problems, it, it makes no sense to go slow. You can move things a little bit faster because, I mean, let's face it, 5 and 5 is 10. I don't have to add 5 plus 5. I can just chunk 5 and 5 together, or, what did I do here? Like here, 7, 8, 8 and 8 is 16, and 4 is 20, right? Well, I'm at 8, and I'm looking at 4 and 8 is 12, and 8 and 2 is 10, so that's how I jump to 20 so quickly, okay? And I jump over here to 2, and I chunk the 8 and the 2 together as a 10, and I'm looking at 8 and 1 is 9, and 19, all right? I don't have to go 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 8 is 11, plus 8 is 19. I'm able to chunk a little bit quicker and easier. Anyway, you'll get used to it if you practice it. All right, 13. Subtract the following and round to the nearest tenth. So that means I have a tenths position and I have a hundredths position. All right, so subtract 13.111. I'm going to subtract 3.872. And then I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. So 2 from 1 is 9. 7 from 10 is 3. 8 from 10 is 2. So that's wrong. See, I did that wrong. Let me go again. 2 from 1 is 9. 7 from 10 is 3. 8 from 10 is 2. 3 from 2 is 9. 3 from 12, okay? Because I'm borrowing here, all right? Watch me, I'll do it slow. 2 from 1, so this becomes a 0, and that makes that 11. That's how I get 9. 7 from 0 I can't take, so I have to borrow again. That makes that a 0, and that makes that a 10. That's how I get 7 from 10 is 3. 8 from 0, can't do that. That makes that a 2, so I can take 8 from 10 is 2. And this is where I had gone wrong, because mentally I went, 3 from 3 is 0. No, 3 from 2, can't do that. I have to borrow here and make that a 12, so that's how I ended up with 9. Okay, so now I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, so this is my tenths position. All I need to do is look at the next position over, which is a 3, which means I round down, so I'm going to round down to 9.2 as my final answer. Okay. 14. Multiply the following and round to the nearest hundredth. Wow, big number. All right. 7.4821. 15.861. All right. Now for this, you saw me write out what's the way the numbers were presented. However, because of having an empty position right here, okay, I'm not going, remember with multiplication, we can multiply in whichever order we want, all right? And because of the empty position here, I'm going to reverse those numbers, and I'm going to take the 15.861 and multiply that by 0.7. Whoops. I'm going to multiply it by 7.4821. Okay. Now, when you're multiplying, realize that my decimal positions don't matter, because when I have a final answer, all I'm doing is I'm going to add up the 1, 2, 3 there, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions there. I'm going to move the decimal place over 7 positions when I get a final answer. So I don't need to worry about aligning my decimal places like I need to do when I'm adding and subtracting. And that also allows me to rearrange my numbers to make it easier? Yes. I could have gone and went 7.4821 and then put 4821 and then put my 15.861 and had my numbers lined up, over and above each other. But mentally, like I had said, I looked at it, and the way I wrote it down, I ended up with that empty space, so I opt to multiply the other way around. Whichever way, you're going to come up with the same answer, all right? So there's no right or wrong way, it's just a matter of preference. So I'm multiplying by 1, so I have 15,861, right? 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 6 is 12, 16, 17, it's 10, 11, that's 3. 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 6 is 48, carry my 4, 64, 68, carry my 6, 46, carry my 4, that's 12. Right, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 6 is 24, carry my 2, 32, 34, 3, 23, 2, 6, and finally 7, 42, carry my 4, 56, 60, carry my 6, 35, 41, 4, 11. And then I'm going to add all those numbers up. That's 1, 8, that's 18, 6, and 4 is 10, 25, 2, 3, 2, that's 10, 12, 12, 16, 23, 3, carry my 2, 11, and 6 is 11 and 6 is 17, carry my 1, that's 6, that's 8, 1, 1, and then 7 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I end up with 118.67, and I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth. So I'm in this position, look right, I see a 3, so I round down, and my final answer is 118.67. Okay, again, whichever way you decide to do the math, okay, whichever order, it doesn't really matter. I just quickly went and opted for doing the this way because I like having the larger number without having a space here. That's if I align the decimals above and below each other, right? But you don't necessarily need to do it that way. All right, stop here and pick up in the next video.